Hello YouTube, how is everybody today? Hope your day is going well. Anyways, it is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays I like to talk about my WIPs. And if you're a yarny crafter, please stay to after I show my WIP because I've got a couple questions and I'm looking for suggestions, advice, opinions, and maybe guidance as to who to maybe go check out to see if they can help me or what I'm kind of thinking may work. Anyhow, let's start off with my WIP. Now, if you guys had seen my video on Friday, I showed one square and one square only, and that was this one. And the ends on this one are sewn in. So this one is 100% complete to the pattern. Now, I wished after I finished this square that I had taken the blue and divided that ball into half, because when I made square 2 of that same blue, which it is not finished, from this point on they are not done, by the way. So that is 2 blue, this shade of blue. But originally I wanted to do 3 of each color, and I don't know if I would have had enough of this blue, so I didn't go with that because I didn't want to be, part way done and then run out and have to frog and have all these short little ends because, cut them after each color change. So I decided, I wish, like I said, I had taken the ball and divided it in half and then put like a little slip knot with a stitch marker on it or something to hold the stitch marker so it wouldn't slip stitch, so what loop would not have come out. Tammy, think before you speak. It helps. And then as I crocheted the second square, I would have known if I ended it before the slip loop, then I would have enough for a third square. If I finished, obviously, after that slip loop, then I would not have had enough. I just decided, you know what, we're going to say I don't have enough and leave it at that. So I did those 2 blue ones. Then I did these 2 blue ones in white. And then I did these 2 blue ones in white. Okay, so that's 6 squares. Now, originally, because I wanted, like I said, do it 3 by 3 or 3 of each color, which would have given me 12, would have given me a 4 by 4 blanket. So that's 6. Then I have 6 more. I have gray and white number 2, gray and white number 3, and gray and white number 4 so far to this point of the pattern. And then I have gray and white that are not quite done. So I just got 2 rounds each of these to do, then they're to the pattern. Now, because there's only going to be 12 squares in total, it is going to be 3 wide by 4 long. That's kind of a little on the smaller side for a baby blanket. I'm going to take a picture of the 12 gray laid out, and then, so you got the 12 gray, like boom, 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 all the way across, and then the blues underneath it, but kind of like, I'll try to show it to you. So I'm going to have like the 12 grays kind of laying like this, side by side for the picture. But then underneath it, those 12, I'm going to have the 6 blue, so the 2 dark blue, and overlapping a bit, but to take a picture of all 12 squares at this point of the pattern. Then I'm thinking of doing 2 rounds of white. And I noticed in this pattern, which I thought was kind of odd that they did this, that normally with the granny square style squares, in the corner you normally would do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Well, both these rounds of gray or the blue, whichever square you look at, it's 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, which I thought was kind of odd, and it's really making it curl, I feel, more than normal. So I'm thinking of doing 2 rounds of white, but even when you look here, like it rounds down because there's not enough stitches, it's pulling. So with the 2 rounds of white, I'm going to actually do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the corner, which is what you normally would do for a granny square, at least most granny squares I've seen. And then after I get the 2 rounds of white, then join it and then put the border on it. Hopefully it'll be a decent sized blanket. Will it be done by Friday? I don't know. Now, what I need from my yarny community friends out here is this. I have never in my whole years of crafting, and I started knitting when I was 12. So you figure that's 38 plus years ago. I have never, ever, ever, ever blocked a single item. And I know it's only a blanket, but like I said, as you look at the square, it's really curly. I'm using Burnett Super Value yarn for all the colors. I'm using a size 5mm hook. And I almost think it's the way the corners are done. Because when it was just the white, even the white curls, like, I don't know how well you guys can see that on the camera, but I don't know. But I've never blocked, and like I said, it is going to be just a baby blanket. I don't know if I'm going to block these or not, because I don't have blocking tools, as you would say. But I was sitting here and I looked them up on Amazon. I don't have any Amazon cash saved up right now, but to get an idea of what they look like. And I thought, well, I can always go to Michael's, maybe pick up a pegboard of some kind, and then some kind of things to put in the peg, like to put the squares on to do. I don't know if I gotta soak them, just mist them, get them damp and wring them. Like I said, I don't know how to block. I've never done it. I don't know a good technique. And I'm sitting here thinking, do I really want to block? Do I not want to block? It's just, like I said, going to be a blanket. I'm fine with just stitching the squares together, but maybe it would look better if it's blocked. And then I'm sitting here and I've got an old box sitting over here that's with a few other boxes that go into my trailer for fire starter purposes for my fire pit. And one is an old Crown Royal box that my son got a bottle in. And yes, he is of age to drink. Don't worry, he's 25. And in Canada, 19 is legal drinking age. It's been legal for years. But anyways, I was thinking of taking the box and then taking some DPNs, figure out about how wide I want the square, like around 6 inches, 8 inches, whatever it will be once I get the white added. Measure it out and draw it on the box. And then in the corner, stick in my DPNs. And then mist the squares or whatever I need to do and put them over the needles. And then they put rubber bands like down the needle kind of thing. Like this is the needle. Put a rubber band, and then when I put the square on it, will stop at the rubber band. And then up a little further, put another rubber band. So they're spaced out. I was thinking about doing that because, like I said, I went on Amazon to look, and the cheapest boards I was seeing for blocking and the little metal pieces, which most are like a steel dowel type idea, but a DPN knit needle will do the same thing, was like in the $23, $25 range. And I don't know what it would cost. Like I said, I went to Michael's and looked for stuff and made my own. That's why I thought of the box and the DPNs. But like I said, I don't know how to block things. Like I said, I've never done it. I've got to do the method just water and let it air dry because I don't have anything else to do it any other way. So I don't know if you want to give me advice on how you guys think I should do it. If you think the box with the DPNs with the rubber bands on it would work. How wet should I make my squares? If you maybe know of another YouTuber that does a really well tutorial on showing you different methods, guide me to their channel or share a link down below if you wouldn't mind of the video or something that you think might help, or just your suggestion in general saying, you know what, Tammy, don't bother blocking it as a blanket, just whip it together, or yeah, I block them, give me your input, please. That's what I ask. So that's my WIP. Tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow is my cuddly animals that you guys have been so gracefully voted on, and the owl had won. I have not worked on it since I showed it last week. I'll try and put a couple rounds on it between this evening and tomorrow, but it's not time sensitive where this blanket I need done by the end of the month. That's why I'm thinking I'm not going to bother blocking it, but I'd like to have that knowledge for a later date. And then I got 2 donuts I want to make this month at some point. One's going to be mimicking a puppy dog, because if you guys saw my koala bear donut and my sunflower donut, I'm going to be doing a puppy dog one. And I don't know as of the 15th what the next one will be until then, the 14th or the 15th. So there'll be 2 donuts I got to make this month. And then one of my other make-alongs I participate in, the theme for this month is Stitch versus Stitch. which is Terry and Lottie put on, is chevron. Well, whenever I do chevron work, it's always blankets. So I want to whip up another baby blanket, but more girl color themes like pinks, fuchsias, teals, maybe. I don't know quite yet what I've got in my stash that would go great together, and do like a little chevron baby blanket, roughly the same size of what this one will be. Just so I have them, and then if, family member has a baby at some point, I got a little gift for them. But yet, that's something else that's time sensitive because it's got to be done before the end of the month and sent in. So yeah, I got a few projects that are kind of time sensitive for them to be precise. And so far I've only been working on one. I will try and put at least finish the last round of the feathers of the neck of the owl, and then get at least a few rounds of the body part. I just lost something. I don't know what I lost. Something just fell off my couch. I was startled. But the finish, like to get some of the body part, like chest, belly, whatever area, started so you see the next set of stitches. But we'll see. And like I said, it's not a time sensitive, but the poll's still up for the next animal. So if you want to go over there and put a vote, I'd appreciate it. Anyways, guys, if you like what you see and you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider hitting the subscription button, hit the notification. I try to put videos up when I'm well enough and I'm not down with a cold, like I was over the holidays this past year. I try to do videos pretty much every day of the week if I'm home and available to do so, and I have something to share. So I will catch you guys later. Bye for now.